But I'm started like this.
Mm-hmm.
I am a guy from a place, Charm City Bipper, Quis The Vndl. Marquis is the name that my mama blessed me with. I'm here with an individual who has an organization that is centered around building youth, something that I'm passionate about and that many of the people I've brought on here prior are passionate about. He is connected to another individual that we're both grateful for, a man with a plan. Lot of motion, a lot of community in my city, and I'm so big on finding ways to bridge these gaps. You know, I know there's somebody out there that can work with this brother, that can work with any of the people that this guy from a place has brought into the plate, like whatever, you understand? So I want to introduce all of you to Brandon Johnson.
How you doing? My name is Brandon Johnson.
Thank you,
Great
sir.
introduction, man.
Appreciate
Well worn. And everything he said was definitely true. We're trying to bridge gaps in the communities the best way possible. We're facing battles that we're not ready for, so we try to prepare each child and each adult for reality. And, you know, we try to, you know, step over certain barriers that people just can't get through. Special shout out to Ron and Don, man with the plan as well too.
Yes, indeed.
My guy.
Yeah.
But back on topic, that's what we doing. We just doing what we doing out here.
Yeah.
It starts with the mental health aspect of things. You know, a lot of people don't want to speak on that portion of life. It's a stigma about mental health where people just holding things in. So, you know, and I'm very untraditional. So I try to, you know, be untraditional, but get the message across too, if that makes sense.
I'm big on intention. Good intention doesn't always mean good outcome, but I believe that when your intention is based in something bigger than you, you'll find the outcome that we're looking for. So I know from what I witnessed just in this little bit of time that I've seen that the intention is, I'm going to talk to y'all where you're at. I'm not going to talk over you. I'm not going to predict what you're after. I'm gonna ask you what's going on in your life. Or y'all on socials, what's happening on socials?
Yeah.
Like I'm when I was in the school, I initially came in there like confused about how to approach the kids. I wasn't coming in remembering I was from East Baltimore. I felt the environment that was created in the staff meetings was that don't matter, we are educators. So it's like when I came in, I wasn't leaning with, oh, my grandmother was down the street from Northeast Market. I got a cousin who was in the streets. I got this, that, and the other. I had my own experiences, not in the streets, but I was on socials. I was having a lot of the moments that my students were having, but I wasn't thinking I could bring that up. So as soon as I was like, you know what? How y'all feel? Not how do I want you to feel? Not who do I want you to be? Who are you? And a lot of times they didn't have an answer. So
Yeah.
it's so big with our community right now. We got to figure out if they even got an answer to that.
A lot of them don't. A lot of them just don't know. A lot of them don't know how to respond. You know, a lot of kids and adults too are scared to even speak up.
That part.
So you have to have trusted people that they can get it out to. That's very important. As you see with some of the groups we have, well, some of the, you know, which you just saw, you know, we definitely let them be them.
It's
But
important.
we just, you know, gotta have a
boundaries.
thin line of
yeah,
boundaries.
indeed.
Them kids, they go over the boundaries, and you gotta bring them back down in a way, you know, because a lot of them don't get brought back down. You know, a lot of kids are living a little bit too fast, so we try to bring them back down to reality, and you know, teach them the right things.
And it's big to create a safe space. And beyond a word of a space that I felt safe in, me personally, was knowing that the people were doing what they said to me. So like, if they told me they believed the community, it was an action. If they said keep the block clean, I might have saw them sweeping one day. If they said there's other ways to get money besides the streets, I didn't see them in the streets. I saw them in a suit going to work or whatever else. And it's not like it wasn't this constant preach at me. It was like, hey man, if you want to get something out of life, check this book out. Look into this, talk to this person. If I came to them with a problem, they would either give me the solution or tell me to go to this person because they may have it. And I've had to model that. So I'm always big on saying the person that you all are interacting with is the product of a community. I'm the product of a village. And all of us are, whether we, even if it's not something that we all, everybody is proud of, or everybody's loving, it's still a product of a lot of other circumstances.
Absolutely. You hit that one on the nose. You know, it's kind of sad what we're facing, what they're facing, but the village stood out to me. What you just said, the village matters. Everybody plays a part in every different thing.
Yeah, go ahead, let them. Yeah, who might it be? Who might it be? You know, I got my words going. Oh, you good. Take a little break, you know. This is what I'm big on. Business. People are in motion. I'm in motion, right? With understanding. You are good. I said you are good. I'm just big on making it understood that like it's no. I don't like perfection. I don't like perfection. Oh, I don't like it too crisp sometimes. You know, that be my thing. Yeah, organic. Cause that's how it started.
But that might have been good. If somebody came, you might have to do that over.
Which one?
No.
Oh.
If somebody really came, that really shows that we work. You know what I mean?
That's right. And then I like to keep this as natural as possible because in sync with what my life has been. Yeah. Leaving the school wasn't no process that was like clear cut. Yeah. Like I'm leaving for 4 weeks because there's no perfect time to leave a school. Right. And like people know I plan to leave and I don't get no new offer to keep me till the week I'm leaving. You know, that crazy. This is wild. It is what I said. It is what it is, and it's not personal. Yeah. That's what keeps me grounded too. Knowing that like a lot of times, I gotta assume that everybody don't know at all times. Even when they do, I gotta just say they don't know. It's like, if I start to think they know, now I'm like, well, you knew that would hurt me. No, you didn't. Right. Or you may have. But if you did, it still doesn't really matter to me because you knowing it isn't going to change the way I got to respond to it. Right. I get nothing from, oh, yeah, he knew he was trying to do me dirty. Now I got to go find a way to retaliate? No. Let that man go have his win. Because that's all it really is. Yeah. It's a lot of ego. And I got to constantly check in with that part. So like when I'm leaving, I'm frustrated, confused, and I'm telling people I got a podcast and I'm going to do yoga. These people think I'm about to be broke. Dusty. They just wishing death on me. Dang, they wishing death to the dreams. I offered somebody something. They gave me $10. They bought it for me instead. Like it was one of them. I was like, oh God. Like
you think it was just straight? They thought it was just ready to be over for you.
They thought it was over. So I'm already like 23 episodes in, but people weren't checking for it. I was saying I got a podcast. It's like your cousin with a mixtape. Yeah, he do a little music or whatever. Yeah, he got a little podcast or whatever, you know. And at episode 60, people still got a little strange attitude, but I'm like, y'all missing value. Because right now in this era, money and aesthetic means so much to people that they don't know what it looked like to chase a dream. They don't know what it looked like. They don't know what Drake looked like when he was doing Take Care. They don't know what Hov looked like or Master P looked like out the trunk with it. They don't know that part, but that's the part I love.
And the good part about this day and era is you have certain pioneers that came before you, and you know everybody don't mock their life like theirs, but in a nutshell, they don't see the start. You know, our generation, even with the kids, they want to just go jump straight in it, and a lot of things they jumping into are the wrong things. So they just think they can battle their way out of it, and they just don't know how. Like, even with myself, it was like, I always had influence with, you know, I always been a ladies' man. always been a father to my children. And, you know, I had my fair share in the streets at the younger ages. So I knew people from that. And then I started throwing parties. So everybody knew me from my old self, you know. They just knew me for me.
Yeah.
And in the midst of me throwing parties, you know, that started getting a little dry, whatever the case may be. So I said, let me go try to work in the school because I always liked children. Being the only child, like, fueled me. Like, I always was the only child. I had a couple nephews that was out of state. My brothers and sisters was out of state. And it was just me, for real. I had a stepsister, but we didn't live in the same household. Grew up together, but she was a girl. You know what I mean? That's my big sis. I love her to death. But she was a girl, you know? So it was like I had cousins that my mother, brother, my uncle and them had. But, you know, they still was every other weekend I might go over there at grandma's house. And it was just me. So me having a passion for children was like, I always wanted brothers and sisters. I always wanted to be a big brother. I always wanted to go to a big brother. But it just wasn't, even though I had them, it just wasn't like, hey, bro, what's up, man? What's up? What you think I should do with this? I didn't have that. I would see him in the summertime. So it was like, you know what? And I'm not, you know, telling people to go have children, but that's what I did. I went and had my own children and, you know, start raising my own children. So because I never wanted to feel like I didn't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? Besides my mother and my dad, it's just me after that. There's no brothers and sisters, it's me. So when I had one, I was like, I need another because I want them to have somebody be with them. And you know, then I might have another one, then I had another one. And the list goes on. Currently, right now, I have 12 children with marriage of my own.
Yeah.
There's 12 of us.
My grandfather had 9.
Yeah.
So my grandmother, those 12 all together.
So me having that was just going to happen. But back to the schools, I was working in the schools and it just came a natural.
And that's a village. With 12 kids, 2 parents. And then it's like with that, even you gotta open up the community at that point. You can't raise your 12 kids just in isolation. We thugging it out. Like, what does that look like?
And and the same way, like I tell parents, even in orientation when they come to the program, the same way how I'm gonna treat my kids, I'm gonna treat your kids the same way. Sons, daughters, they mine, you know. But I'm gonna be transparent with them. I made mistakes as a younger parent when I was young. So certain things that my oldest son seen, they wasn't supposed to see, you know. But this day and era, I you know, I'm all the way out, so they won't ever see my other children won't see anything. You know, so but I learned those lessons, the hard lessons. Why did I show them this? Why did I let them count this money? You know what I mean? Why did they let me see, why did they let me come in the house with the work and they see the work? You know what I'm saying? Why did I let them, I win the money, go get the money back and, you know, have safes all over the house, see me put money in the safe, see me meet people, pick stuff up, change currency. They seen that. So they seen it at a younger age, you know, so it was just like, that was going on. It was slick then. I mean, I was a young parent. I was 17. You know,
and one of the things in our community with like a lot of what hurt us in the past, or like things that seemed as if they were beneficial in that moment that are to our detriment at this one, it was we didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. When guys was out there, because I know a couple guys that was out there getting that fast money. Nobody's knowing that it's gonna be the detriment that we see today. A lot of this dopamine addiction is based on dope addiction. It's like a new age thing, but it's generational. Yeah. Is even this I laugh because a lot of times the new generation can't connect what is stuck on to what the generation before it was stuck on. We have social media in a way where it's foreign, like nobody really has a sense of it. They don't have a thing to compare it to in the past, but this desire to be seen, it's just a void. It's a void in self-esteem. But this self-esteem issue is from missing components. Missing components in their life. It's the same thing what you saying. You didn't have brothers and sisters. So your reaction was I'm going to go make a village. Not that it's a bad thing, because you understand what you did. You're accountable for this decision and you love into it, right? But some people sit with their reactions and don't understand. Like, they resent it. Like, why did I? It's like we create our lives, and it's just such a continual process. But responses to "I don't feel seen" are, who sees me? Because I don't feel seen as lack. I don't feel seen as nobody I ever go around hears me. Is that true? I used to say it to my kid, my students. I had a student like, I hate everybody in here. It's like, all right, well, let's slow this down, because we're moving fast. You moving rapid. Everybody. I said, you hate me? No, I mean, this guy, you cool. I said, okay. You hate them people you be sitting at lunch with, because y'all be sharing food. Nah, they high for real. I said, okay. You hate Miss D, because I like it. Yeah, she's cool. So we got some people you don't hate.
Yeah, so you slow down a little.
Yeah, so let's keep building that list out, and then eventually we get to the person, because it's more likely a person or a small group of individuals who have now ruined the experience overall. It's like people. It's like when you walking into that party and Bishop is in there. If you watch Juice,
Bishop.
You watch, right? It's one, right? It's one person. Yeah, it's one person ruining the whole party for you.
I don't like this vibe. I'm getting about it.
Yeah, I don't like this vibe. One person to change the vibe.
Right.
One bad apple spoiled a bunch. So it's like, point out that bad apple and confront it with a response. Bishop and Juice is a wild analogy, but when I'm saying that, I'm also saying my students may have had an issue with another student, but oftentimes it was a misunderstanding. And then another person got to take word and play telephone, and now they look like the big bad wolf from the distance. But in reality, they really didn't say nothing crazy. It just was all of these people in between with this wild message. It sound bonkers by the time it hit the
once they finally get out there.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I'm floating around, but I'm also thinking about what are like some larger goals you have for this? Right, for this program.
So, some larger goals that I really have is some of these kids that's getting help along the way, even down to the adults that's in the program. Once they get to their full potential, they pass the torch to them. My biggest thing is, if I helped you, you can help somebody else too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it also, you help in the communities too. Like, you providing jobs, they're doing things that they love. We're empowering each other. I'm big on empowering. Like, I done had my days in turning stuff down or doing the right, doing the wrong stuff. So now it's like, as a certain time, I'm a role model to a lot of people. So it's like, being a role model, eventually, like you said early in the podcast, you basically was saying, how can you help me? You know what I mean? I can help you if you take these steps. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm helping you, and I'm creating to show you you doing these things the right way, and then I'm showing you this. You know what I mean? Like, the average people, choose the wrong way. You know what I mean? So it's like,
it's a bad approach.
Yeah, I can be honest with you. Like, I don't. It's the game was shown to me with this, right? Like, everything you do, you learn. That's what you do with the game. You know what I mean? Like, I was showed this PRP lifestyle and mental health, and I looked at it and I'm like, how can I make this a thing? But the thing is to help people,
right? The goal of it is service.
Yeah.
And I'm big on business being a service. I look at all business as a service. The way that Apple, if y'all want to shout them, the way that Apple makes its phone is a service. Because when I pick it up, it gotta function the way that I need it to. And if it's not functioning the way I need it to, I go to customer support. And this customer support is set up so that my life doesn't stop when this thing stops.
Yeah.
Right. So
these things,
food, right? That's a service. Every industry has some component of service. But a lot of times within the process, the people being served get overlooked. So it's like, okay, we don't really care about y'all that much. We care about these prices in our pocket. So we're going to make certain shortcuts rather than building something that is of value that people will benefit from long term. So I love that you said it's about building them so they're able to reach back. If you have 10 young black girls that grow to be 10 black women with professional skills, that's 100,000 jobs over the course of a lifetime. That's a new generation of, and that's the true generational wealth. Because a lot of times is this talk of like, I want it for mine. It's like, well, if yours are good but mine aren't, or if mine are good but yours aren't, eventually yours gonna come rob mine. Or eventually mine gonna come rob yours. Or eventually somebody's gonna be hurt in this process. So finding ways to make our community larger than our household is so big. And like I said, I love that you brought that up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, just like you say, seeing like, so with me is like, I have see so many stories doing this type of work, and it's like I always count them as small wins. You know, small wins. You know, people always look for the big win. They always want to go. Oh yeah, I hit the home run. Everybody want to go for the home run plays.
What's the batting
Slam
average?
dunk, yo. You know, I like the little assist. The little assist means to me too. It means a lot to me, you know. And you know, I don't have to be the full person in front of it. You know what I mean? I like to share the wealth, share the knowledge, give people the knowledge and let them say it as well too. And I ain't got to take the credit, you know. It's just, you know, that's what it is. So like that's one of the big, you know, parts of it. Like I don't need 1,000 people in a program for mental health, right? I don't need that, right? I can have 100 or 50 or 200, but I can have 800 people on my line still calling me. Just not in the program. They can pick up the phone and call me. They hit me on social media. I need some advice, Mr. Johnson. You know, a parent calling me, you know, adults calling me, you know, it's just about, you know, the overall just helping people. You know, a lot of people need help. That's just simple as that.
Yes. And I say, and I've heard this, a lot of what I say, I've found the game is free, right?
Yep.
It's out here for all of us. Where there's crisis, there's opportunity, right? So right now, our city has some crises, right? But we still love it, and we still gonna have to find a way to respond. And there's a lot of people doing the work.
Speaking on that, to touch on that, when it's crisis, you gotta respond. 3 years ago, I went through that crisis, you know, and I remember I told you, you know, I raised 2 boys at a younger age, and you know, they were my sons. They grew up together. One of them was biological, one of them wasn't. But they was my sons. They are my sons. You know what I'm saying? To this day. But both of them was, you know, trying to rip and run and do certain things. One of them got caught up and he didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? And being as though 3 years ago, and that's Travis. Rest in peace, Travis.
Rest in peace.
He didn't make it. And in the midst of that, I was in guilt, felt guilt because showing the wrong things and, you know, kids doing the right. But, you know, I felt a big part that I played a part in that. So I kind of beat myself down. I was beat down, but I didn't show it. Nobody really knew. I mean, my wife was around. She knew. You know, my oldest son that was still living, he knew because that was like his best friend. They were brothers, so he knew. Me going to the, you know, leaving out the house 3, 4 in the morning, taking a bottle, going to the graveyard, just sitting there in the rain, snow, just letting it out. But that's the only time I could let it out. My other kids, the other village that was around, they never seen it. The mentoring kids that was around me, they never seen it. Like nobody never seen it. So it was like, wow, I still have to keep going.
You show up.
So it was like, wait a minute. I'm dealing with something that can really break you down. Like, this is real. Like, it's breaking you down, tearing you up to pieces. But I got to respond. The world is looking at me. My kids is looking at me. What I'm supposed to just go down and tuck, stop seeing kids, stop doing what I'm doing, stop trying to change the narrative, stop trying to help people? Nah, I responded to that. And the crazy part about me responding to it was like, I look kids in their face and I'm like, I look at them and I'm like, male or female, even down the females and males, just because they not living the same things that he was doing, they living too fast, they can make wrong decisions.
Yes.
Decision making is real crucial in this world. And a lot of people don't have people to talk to about decision
And the
making.
quicker you move, the shorter your time is to make proper responses. That's why I often would tell kids, go slow so you can go fast. I learned that and it's a funny, just little side note, but when I was in high school, I was always trying to play piano. So a music teacher, I think Miss Benton, I think that was her name, dope. She was at my school for so long. She retired while I was there, but I was going back and forth, and I was just like this. She's like, slow down, play it as slow as you can. And I was like, oh, I got fingers. I'm feeling muscle in his fingers I didn't know I had. Right? So a lot of us are moving
Quick.
because we feel like we missing something if we don't move fast. And it's like this idea that everybody was moving quick. Now I'm going to tell you this. The people that have an emotion, they built momentum. To get the momentum, you got to own every moment.
You gotta have it.
And you got to give every moment its proper due justice. So, like you said, I mean, what I took from you saying, you went and you released, it's not in a way that everybody would deem healthy. Some people, how you pick a box? He's at a space. You pick solitude in this moment. You found what worked for you in that moment. Then your response is, I'm gonna keep doing the work. So a lot of times for me, a part of my healing, me personally, service allowed me to heal because it reminded me you don't have it as bad as you think you do. Somebody else out here got the same issue as you, and the way you showing up with light is giving them an opportunity to overcome the situation you was broken by. So it's like, I'm grateful to know some of my students check in on this. And that's the bigger part for me. A lot of people was like, oh, no. I mean, and it was the jokes initially, you know, people don't understand the value of a podcast.
Okay.
Because when something's flooded and it's popular and everybody's doing it, everybody look like foo-foo eventually. But my intention behind this is, I got a group of students I was telling, you can do whatever you want to, as I'm standing in a classroom in front of them. Teachers didn't mean nothing to them.
Yeah,
but,
what?
You know,
Square, what?
Ron come in, shouts out Ron. He showed him a picture of the Airbnb in LA. He said, yeah, let's take a flight. Oh, you know, like the kids is tweaking.
Yeah.
They have him mind blown. They wouldn't give him their ears was closed until he brought that. Not to say that that's what you want to lead with, but at some point people got to see you having tangibles. They got to see a tangible success from the thing you're telling them is going to make them great in life. Peace is tangible to me, but that's my spiritual understanding. I understand peace isn't tangible, right? And peace don't look like peace isn't something you can see visually. It's people that may be homeless right now. You feel me? But they got a peace because they're comfortable with where they sleep at night. They may have some like they found some. I've literally met people who like, hey man, I'm just out here, and they could be by the beach. They could be in Cal. Like they could have picked a location where you could peacefully be homeless. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. It's a wild thought for some, but yeah, that's tangible for them. But I can't sell that to youth. Youth don't always have, especially youth that's coming from a city where you hear woo 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 woo, and many hours a night you hear helicopters over your. We're well to find peace, and I'm always
on the go.
You close your eyes at night, but all that's still going on.
And they got wake right up to it.
What's your dreams? Like, it's to the point, some people say they like to sleep with the TV on. Honestly, I think that's to drown out the noise of the city. That's just a thought of mine. But
could be.
So much.
Something. There's different strokes for different
strokes, but you know?
Yeah.
But it's that part, man. And I love, like I said, I love service. And that part is like, I lost a friend at the end of high school. She had a brain tumor. And it was a quick process. Like we found out in January and she was gone by November. So it's like, wow. You know, so it's like, and I'm in a process of figuring out like what college I'm gonna go to and whatever else, you know, is a late high school. So just seeing that allowed me to be more grateful for the little parts. And like be more intentional about letting the people around me know I love them as much as I can when I can. Because to not be able to say it to somebody is one of my, like, is a big pet peeve of mine. Like if I could have said it, I didn't get to. I wanted to, but didn't. I wanted to tell you but I didn't. That's not a good sentence for me.
That's it. It always sits when a person is gone. Like that, it's like I shoulda, I coulda, I woulda, I wish. So you definitely gotta appreciate every moment that you're around somebody's presence, no matter the good or the bad. Like, you know, and even with the bad, you know, I'm big on not holding grudges. You know, that's something our city is facing now. Is like, I'm gonna hate you forever. I'm not gonna dislike you forever, and it keeps going. And I think that's some of the things that we're facing. And, you know, it's affecting our communities. You know, there's always murder, ain't somebody pulling up. It's always retaliation when it's happening. The family, and then what that is, okay, somebody dying, but then you got families that's in this whole circle that goes to school, this one go to school, this one go to school. Somebody losing a mother, somebody losing a father, somebody losing an uncle, somebody losing a brother, somebody losing a sister.
He may be an enemy to you, but he plays many other roles in many other lives.
You know, and then that person goes, and then next thing you know, them other people, you know, maybe content right there. Then they retaliate, and then they hurt. So it's a thing that everybody, it's a lot of grief right now. You know, it's a lot of grief and a lot of jail. It's even two things. The dads are not here, they're dying, or they're going to jail. So we're not just leaving the parents alone to raise them. We're leaving the kids. So they just going their own little ways. I'm gonna go this way, I'm gonna go this way. And they just going. You know, that moms doing the best that they can. Shout out to all the moms, single parent moms, and single parent dads too. Just doing a shout out to y'all. You know, I understand some of the things that y'all facing. And, you know, we have support for you here. And that's the part about services. Like, you know, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to get therapy. It's okay to have credible mentor that you could trust somebody. You know, I hear every story in the world, and it's like confidential, you know, but I want you to know we're going to get through it the best way we can. You know, and a lot of people not being told that.
I think another theme that continues to show up in this space is vulnerability. And there's a lot of fear involved with being vulnerable about the things that we go through because we know that there are individuals who use it against us. It looks wild to put a GoFundMe up talking about what you need for your family because you got a whole comment section or a whole demographic of followers. What's up with your broke self, right? But the reality is this as well. There's a portion within that same demographic that's gonna be like, how can I get them some help? How can I get them past this moment?
Right.
Because like if I told a group of people, look, I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm struggling with a lot of things. I'm hurt and I'm scared. Somebody in that group is gonna offer me services. Somebody's gonna offer tell me about a therapist they knew. They're gonna tell me about an aunt who really cares. Within my school community, when I was teaching, my mentor was that for a lot of people, and she wasn't the only one who was willing to just be an ear. Sometimes it's all you need, and we don't even realize about how do you get to an ear when you got a closed mouth. Closed mouths don't get fed, and sometimes you just need to be fed with good words and encouragement.
Yeah, the right encouragement.
The right encouragement.
And sometimes, like you said, just listening. And, you know, just listening to a person, once you let them get it all out, and you might say, how do you feel now? They might say, you know what, after I got it out, it really ain't that serious no more. You know what, I can let it go. Instead of reacting off of impulse and just going, you know. But, you know, a lot of families have been broken, so they just going.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going off their own understanding, is just going. You know, it's no thinking. You know, social media really like corrupted our generations that's coming up, because it's like, I gotta go fast. I gotta wear my hair like this. I have to wear these shoes. I have to get this watch. I have to get these chains. You know, I have to go do this. I have to go that. It's not enough social media saying people going to college. You know what I mean? It's not
and
enough.
There's a lot of us going to college.
Yeah, it's nobody really showing, hey, I'm in college. This is what I'm doing. This is the career I'm doing. This career makes 60. This makes 70. You know? It's not a lot of people saying I go to these everybody. College not for everybody. I'm not. I didn't go to college. You know, I'm successful though. You know, I've been blessed to see 6 figures in my life. You know what I'm saying? A year.
Yes.
Multiple times. So it's like, but I didn't go to college. I don't have a degree.
Look, and people that go to college don't always get the successful outcome. It's truly what you put into it and what you see it as. Are you seeing this as the... Oftentimes, if you're into something because everybody's into it, you in it for the wrong reason.
And it might not work.
And it might not work. Some things seem as if they're a guarantee. It may be a guarantee for man's over there, but that don't mean it's for you. So I'm big on quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to respond.
Quick to listen.
Slow to speak, slow to respond.
Slow to respond.
And
I might need you to write that down for me.
That's Bible.
Huh?
That's the Bible.
Is it? Wait a minute.
Look, I gotta find the verse, but that's the Bible. Is quick to hear.
Wait a minute.
I believe.
I gotta put it in my notes. I like that.
You know, real. But
wait a minute. Quick to what? I'm a little
quick to. Let me see if I can find. I'm gonna look at the verse up now. But it's quick to hear.
Quick to hear.
It's slow to speak.
Slow to speak.
Slow to respond.
Slow to respond.
And is I believe the verse ends speaking about one who is quick to wrath will be destroyed or just be in disarray type of thing. Okay. And I don't like to quote the word in a bad way. I'm going to just say
amen. Quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to respond.
And even if speak no negativity, see no negativity, hear no negativity.
I remember that. I remember that one.
Yeah, so it's like them ones, it's different. It's mantras or just reminders. Affirmations, and then you confirm an affirmation with your action. So if I say speak no negativity, hear no negativity, see no negativity, and I'm still living within it, I'm beyond. The word is now dysfunction. So yeah, but a lot of this is based in the ego word, but I ended up floating around. You know, I be having that floating moment. I'll be in 7 spaces. Yeah. A lot of the tabs open. But yeah, the benefit that I get from quick to hear is just a lot of times I'm not hearing what my emotion says I'm hearing the first time. The first time it could seem like an attack when somebody's giving you advice. I've sat down at the therapist and was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I got home and understood what he was talking about. And I was living a little more life and understood what he was like, oh, maybe I do got a little trauma bond here that I ain't resolved. Maybe it is something to my issue with leaving, and it is connected to the way that I was brought up. A lot of this is stemming from childhood, and I didn't deal with my childhood trauma properly. So something a lot of individuals that I follow, because I'm intentional about what I consume on social media. So I unfollow certain pages. I'm not of the belief that you don't need to be aware of certain things going on. I think awareness is fine, but I think there's an abundance of awareness for things we don't need to be aware about. Yeah. So one thing that is prevalent right now is you are not responsible for the trauma that was given to you, but you are damn sure responsible for healing it. So I'm not responsible for the trauma that I endured in any part of my life. I'm not responsible fully. It could have been something I chose to do, but that does not mean I deserve violence. That does not mean I deserve that type of hurt and just disrespect or whatever it may be. But I am responsible for healing it. And healing it doesn't look like going to harm somebody else. Healing it doesn't look like avoidance. Healing it looks like I'm gonna have to let that go so I can move forward. Because a lot of times grudges and anger and hatred are anchor, and that's right there on my ankle. I don't got no business walking around with an anchor on my ankle when I'm trying to fly.
Yeah,
I don't got no business hating the next man.
it's no need.
It's no need.
You just gotta let it go.
All the way.
We gotta let it go. And that's, I remember we touched on that a little earlier about, you know, people just holding grudges, and that's we gotta let it go.
It's a process for sure.
And it's like, you know, they say it's like you gonna lose some people on the way. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, if you feel like them people are just keep pulling you, it's just okay to let them go. You know, and I learned that, you know, the circles that you put yourself in, you'll stay in. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
the right
indeed.
is very important to being in the right circle.
Yes, indeed.
You know, if you don't have other people chasing ambitions and dreams too, you're not gonna, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna get those dreams. And you might be that person, but it might take you a little bit longer because you still trying to do what they doing. You know? And it's like Jay-Z said it better, like, I'm not gonna let nobody speed my process up. That's one thing he did say, right? And I take heed to that, right? But I ain't gonna let nobody slow mine up either. You know what I'm saying?
Already.
And I salute the whole, but I ain't let nobody slow my process down. And I done been through that. I done
Both ways. You're not dictating my stance. You're not controlling the motion I'm moving at.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Procrastination. A lot. We live in a procrastination world where we're basically already controlled. You know, we telling you do this. We know we're gonna put this out there. We know y'all gonna jump on it. We're gonna do this. We know y'all gonna buy it. You know what I mean? And the question is, we gotta work on self-discipline. A lot of things that we're doing in our communities is because of ourselves or what we believe.
Yes.
And that don't mean it's right. Sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes it is right. But a lot of things we're doing is 50% chance that it's wrong.
And ethically, it's like who does it benefit and who's harmed by it. I don't believe anybody's harmed by this conversation. So let's have more of them.
Yeah.
And let's not be the only ones doing it, right?
Yeah.
I understand that what everything that's good isn't good for me. Everything that tastes good or everything that feels good isn't good for me. So it's like a lot of these times we've come up so conditioned to think because it's classified as something that is good. Like, oh, this for my stress. How is it killing your liver on the back end if it's for your stress? How is it standing in the way of opportunity? Because we done lost Saturday mornings to the night before over a sip, over a couple sips, a couple bang bang, shot. So it's like there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm big on non-judgment. That's not saying that I'm overlooking accountability, because some people say non-judgment. I don't judge anyone, but you ain't holding nobody accountable either. So it's like we're gonna have to do some accountability and be realistic with some of this. But just that part, like, what am I putting in my body? How is it affecting me? Who's in my circle? We are the product of everything around us. So mentor used to tell, I call him mentor at this point because he's one of my guidance counselors, but look at your 5 closest friends is what he used to say. Look at your 5 closest friends. You are your 5 closest friends. I was like, what? I ain't nothing like him.
Right.
I ain't nothing like him. Oh, I get what you're saying. Just having a reference for the life that he lives, some part of me is affected by it. Just having a reference for it. When my 5 closest friends was getting A's in trig, we was lit. When a couple of them wasn't, and we was talking about who got the lowest grade, my grades was looking wild. And everybody was sad. Everybody had that pack on them. It was a little different. You know, everybody had something to sip. Everybody had something to pass the time with. But passing the time wasn't passing them classes. Passing the time wasn't securing my future. So it was like a lot of times we are hurt and we're not honest. It's all right to be in a club after you won a game. It's all right to be in a club after you graduated and your job is set and you already then figured out how you gonna retire. It's all right to party and celebrate. I'm not against that. And like it can be difficult for me to step into certain spaces with this because I know there's that pushback, but ideas not idols. I don't gotta be perfect for you to accept truth.
Yep, and that's what it's all about.
The wisdom don't gotta come from a man that's like these. Like I said, the game is free. I just gave you a verse. Like we just quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to respond. That ain't my word. That's the word.
Giving advice and game is always free.
Yes.
We just gotta hope people listen.
And taking action gonna cost you.
Yeah.
Taking action gonna cost you, but you gonna have to pay that price. The sacrifice.
Yeah, like you know, the message has to be told.
Yes.
You know, wisdom is always, I learned from a few wise men and wise women. So it was free. And I'm going to go on record and say this. If I would have listened to my mother and my father.
I love you, Mom.
If I would have listened to them all my life, I probably would be a millionaire now. I will be a way better version of what I am now. And salute to my parents. Y'all raised a good one. I'm making y'all proud now. But it's a little late, you know?
It's never too late. That's it. And it is in the time it's supposed to be.
So I guess it's God's plan right now. I'm gonna say that. So, you know, but during that time I caused my parents a lot of hard pain the wrong way and just listening. Not listening, doing the wrong things, not listening to my parents. So the advice again is listen to your parents. They know what's right. And it was before when I was young, it was like, man, I'm doing my own thing. But now that I'm older and have my own children, and they go against things that I'm telling them to do, because I know from previous parents, it's the setbacks. You don't need these setbacks. So the listening to your parents and your support system, you won't have those setbacks. So again, it is God's plans. You have to live and you learn. But if you listen to these people around you, you won't have setbacks. It'll be a little bit faster for you because it's like, hey, I think you know, every check you make, I think you should put up $50 or $100.
I'm hearing y'all. I'm hearing you.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, oh, that's the one.
You know,
that's one. That's been one that's difficult in my experience and for a lot of my peers, but it's a very good piece of advice.
You know
you set yourself up, have at least 6 months of savings.
Yeah, man.
Like to live off of, keeping your current lifestyle for 6 months off your savings. And you can if you can keep your current lifestyle when you cut back, you can probably extend it.
I'm gonna drop one more. Right? In 4 years, if you save $250 a month for 4 years, that's every bit of $21,000. You know what I'm saying? And just think of that. That's $250 a month.
Facts.
Right? You say that for 4 years, that ain't nothing to do. But if you save that for 4 years and you look up, that's 21. You know what I'm saying? So every 8 years, you got 42,000. Remind you can do that at 15. When you first get from 15, you can start doing that when you're 15. So just
putting
imagine.
That bread up, like putting some dollars to the side.
But just think about it. By the time you be 40.
And you can even, so what that too is like put it in a vehicle. Not necessarily like investment portfolios or nothing, but you can at least have high yield savings. Their savings accounts with like 2.5% rather than at 0.01. And it's also CDs, different ways to CDs. Let your money grow while you putting it to the side, because money that's not in motion is gone. And then it also is depreciating because the cost of money's in the economy, cost of inflation. So $250 today, it's not $250 4 years from now. So it's just having to keep that up.
You gotta keep it up and keep on going. And again, a lot of people not hearing this type of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Here at the program, we try to teach them, and when they get to certain levels, saving, money management, and even some adults too. You'd be surprised, like, us adults just make bad decisions that we know we shouldn't make. And and when you're adult, you feel like there's nobody hold you accountable. In our program here, the adults we try to hold them accountable. We set goals as adults too. Even if it's small, just save 50 this month. You know what I'm saying? And it's just all about progress.
And I also say, when we're out here moving, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So that's to say, if I only focus on the problem, I'm not coming to solutions. Right. So if I say, I'm just look at this debt. Oh my gosh, I got all this debt. Well, how many income sources do I have? And how am I using these income sources? I'm getting money in and it's going out. Is it going strictly to bills? Not all the time. Sometimes it's going to bills and then it's going to stress relievers to get beyond the fact that I'm in debt.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm speaking to myself too, y'all. And be confusing out here at times. But life will show you better than it can tell you. And like I said, a lot of times it's actually no demons. You your worst enemy. I'm out here fighting demons. You're fighting yourself and you're whooping your own.
And that's the thing, right? Looking in the mirror sometimes. You gotta wait. Like I'm just look in the mirror. You might say, look, my check was $2,200 this week, but I already digged a hole. I went and bought the bottles. I spent too much money on Amazon.
I was trying to make her smile. She would have smiled regardless. But you trying to make her smile.
I had to make sure she get the Rick Owens and Chanel's. I had to do that. And just to make a little person smile, right? And that's being as though I have children, I always try to make them smile, right? And sometimes, even to this day, I say, why did I do that? You know what I'm saying?
Let me give you this. A smile don't always mean they're happy. Shout out to City, because he said a smile is one of the biggest masks. Sometimes the joy ends in that moment. I mean, the happiness ends in that moment. Joy is beyond external. Joy is internal, like inside out. Happiness is like, oh, I'm so happy you got me a gift. I gotta go back in this room and get these grades up to meet the gift. I gotta go stress about this thing. I don't even know how I'm maintaining because of the gift. And now the gift then turned into a curse, and there's kids out here that's hurt and in silence because they're trying to keep up an image, they're trying to keep up a standard, and that's what this society's come to. I got kids. I had one of the parents told me that their child was trying to get fit like they saw me on Instagram. I was like, what is that? I'm like, bro, I just started getting fit. Like, I had no sense of exercise. I was a skinny kid. I just had a natural build. But she's like, yeah, he's talking about he's got to go harder because he also had a peer. So he had a peer, and then he had this image of me that was making him think he had to work out harder. I'm like, you're not going to meet me. I'm 27, so I got years of this, and I'm not fit to, the reasons I'm fit are different than his reasons would be. So it's like so much of this society has come down, so much of the problems right now have come down to that mirror part. Why am I looking at another man trying to figure out who I can be? That is not going to work. And I need that for my students. I need y'all to hear that beyond anybody in this audience. Do not look at others and try to figure out who you'll be. Look at others as a reference. And I say reference to say that if I'm drawing a picture, I'm going to put a reference beside the blank paper. And I'm going to draw it based on how I interpret it. And what comes out is what I have come to. I may get close, but I know at some point I'm going to change that curved nose to straight line nose because this is my picture, right? So
I wonder how I want to look.
Right. So it's like when I got a game from mentors, I'm like, okay, I'm going to look into that. But I still got to apply it in a ways that work for me. Getting up at 5 a.m. didn't always work for me. I didn't have no reason to be up at 5 a.m.
Right.
I turned 27. I had some reasons to get up at 5 a.m. You know, like I had some reasons. I got some different purposes. I got a lot more riding on it now, you know? So it was like, know where you are, when you are, why you are. That's present minded. And like I said, I be floating, y'all. But I just want to get my kids to know that, man. Like, Mirror Talk, Rashad Coates, Stretch City Wellness, support that brother. He's in Houston. He was from Baltimore, military, all of that. I'm grateful.
Salute, man.
I'm grateful for the faraway mentors. There's a brother named Ron Wills. A lot of different guys that were on YouTube just giving out game. That's why I jumped to YouTube first, because I already had a reference. I'm not getting on YouTube trying to be C Boogie Productions, Rashad Coates. I'm not trying to be Ron Wills. I'm not trying to be you name him. I just got to be the guy from a place, Charm City Bipper. You know, I just got to be this guy.
Charm City, man.
And what they feel about this guy don't even matter. You know, like it's gonna be what it is, and what I feel about this guy gotta be undeniable, because it's bigger than me and it's bigger than all of us.
Right,
man.
That was dope. That was dope.
Man.
That was dope, man.
We overcoming, man. One day at a time.
And in the city where we at, it's a lot. It's a lot of opportunity. We just gotta get it out of. Get it out of it.
Yes, indeed.
Like you said, man. What you doing is powerful. And you know, like you said, it's always a multi-see, multi-do thing. But you're in a good base where a lot of people are doing positive things to shed light on a city that needs light on it. Because our city is dimmed down, it's always dimmed down, and it has.
I mean, look at Light City. Remember that little thing they did at the harbor? Look at the names they give us that we don't lean into. The city that reads. Greatest city in America. I remember riding, you were getting on the bus.
It was on every bus stop. Yeah, but the average person don't even like read no more.
But look at how we can live into it. Think of just that part. Like, we can live in the Light City, bro. What's stopping us?
We gotta keep sharing light, not dim it down. Share the light. Share the resources. Share those love.
And be the light.
Show people. Be the light when you're there.
And look, when you can be the light, you can see the light. So when I'm being a light for I saw the light. I could hear the light. And my son was gone because of decisions I made. So this is how I responded. That's a different conversation. I've heard my son was gone because of decisions I made. I went to ride on it. With Venom. Like, And it's somebody that, yeah, I feel that. What do you feel?
It was a girl, I forgot her name. She one of my Instagram followers. But she has a brand. And when I was going through this stuff, she used to always write on my posts, and I hope she sees this, pain to power. Pain to power.
That might be the intro for the pain.
You know what I'm saying? Like she shout out. I forgot her Instagram name, but I'm gonna definitely make sure we tag Pain to Power, because that's her brand. And every time I was going through something, it was like, nah, B, Pain to Power, you doing it. You showing them, you know, anything can be done. And you know, that's with life. It don't even gotta be grief or death. We get in this city where we at, a lot of people are going through different type of battles, whether it's anxiety, whether it's grief, whether it's depression, whether it's stress, whether it's molestations, whether it's, you know, domestic violence.
Yes. Any negative you can think of, it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
That's happening.
It's the world.
It's like it's not an end, because you woke up again.
Yeah, it's like it's gonna keep slapping you. It's gonna keep coming at your front door. Damn, I'm going through this. And you know what I learned from that was just turn that pain into power. How you gonna do it? Set a goal, set a plan. Shout out to Ron again with the game plan. If y'all don't have the game plan, get it.
Yes.
You don't have to go fast. It could be remember I talked to y'all about small goals, small results. You don't have to say I'm gonna go save $1 million. You don't have to say I'm gonna go I'm gonna write a book. I don't need to be done in 4 months. No, take your time. You know, anything you do, set your goals and stick to them. Stick to your time frame. Stick to your quarters. That book has helped me a lot. You know, it also made me if you look over there, right? We that 633K was like, yo, you had the potential to make that. Me and Ron did a game plan here 2 years ago. I was like, you have a potential to make 630K. What are you gonna do with this 630K? What are you doing with it? Why is it here in front of you? What you tapping?
How you feel?
You tapping into all this different stuff that you could gross 633K. Brandon, how much are you worth? You got all these different things and these things tattooed to you. So you mean to tell me you worth 750K? You know what I'm saying? And you know, people don't look at life like that. It's like, you know, we gotta think out of the box, you know? And again, with that pain and power, that fuels you.
Yes.
That pain should fool you. It shouldn't break you down. You know what I mean?
And keep your small wins private. Keep your wins private because some people are praying against you.
So, and that's something that I struggle with. And it was like, you know, I'm so used to showing.
And sharing.
You know, sharing because it's about content, right? But this last ride right here, right? I'll be 39 in May. This last roll till I'm 40, I'm you know, it's going to be a lot of different this time. A lot of things is going to be behind the scenes are not going to be shown, you know. But you know, it's just, you know, at a certain time I set a goal. At 40, I got to be transitioning in another part of life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have to have more people in place, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, I'm only one person. Everybody loves Mr. Johnson. But again, my vision is to help everybody else out. So I got to have other people that's right, just like Mr. Johnson. People that I groom that, hey, I know I could trust him with your child. I know I could trust her with your child, right? I know that I could walk in and say, wow, this is great. Look at the impact you made. Look at the impact we made. You know, it's all about a we thing now, you know? Yeah. And anybody that's, you know, willing to have that passion, I'm here. You know, Johnson Family Foundation is growing, but it's about passion. That's, you know, I don't need people who don't have it. Simple as that. Yeah. If you're here to get a check or just want to see, you know, me, I dress nice. You know, I wear Balenciagas. I wear all the nice things. I go where I want, where Cartier is. People look at it as like, oh yeah, he does this, he does that. I want it for those reasons. I don't want them type of people.
It's bigger. That's why I say, what's your why? Yeah, it's like, what's your purpose? Because that's not the value. The exterior isn't the value, and I'm not going to define you by that. I want to know your values. So when you, again, it's like your value, your why is different, and some people have the ability to have your why, and that's what I sit with more than anything. It's people who lost their son in the way you lost yours.
A lot of them.
You know, it's people that did wrong by their parents who are not changing their perspective. I say it like this: if you're in a room and you see something crazy on the wall, right? You could be paralyzed in fear. You could run over and try to
I gotta order this pizza for the kids.
Hey,
I gotta order this pizza. Hold on 1 second.
You're busy. Do your thing. Look,
the kids gotta eat.
Commercial break for the kids.
Kids gotta eat.
Kids gotta eat.
Kids gotta eat.
Lost my thought. I talk. All right, so the babies are fed. We had a moment with the, you know, you gotta call it in a weird way these days. You know, it takes a lot more than was expected. But they will be eating some pieces.
Yeah, gotta feed them.
Yes, there's an event today called
Girls Rock.
Girls Rock.
Self-esteem, self-love, self-motivation, you know, to help girls, young ladies find that inner peace in themselves. You know, build young leaders at a young age.
Yes.
You know? Yes. That's what we're doing today. Some engagement tools for the young ladies that's here today is cosmetology. And that's hair, nails, and then we have arts and crafts too. So it's just breakout rooms. They go from room to room in a timely fashion. They learn certain things. Each room reflects different things. You know, in the hair room, before they start the hair, it's mirrors next to each hair. They pick these mirrors up, and it's affirmations. I'm awesome. I'm beautiful. I'm blessed.
Yes.
I'm pretty. That's what the young ladies look at themselves and say.
Mirror talk is literal.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you literally stand in the mirror, talk to yourself, and give yourself love. Give yourself love first.
Then we go up to the cosmetizing the nail part. You know, that's just about enhancing yourself, taking care of yourself. You know, you know, lotioning. You know, working your muscles out. You know, finding a hobby that fits you. Finding time for yourself. That's care. You know, arts and crafts is, you know, just focusing. A lot of kids can't focus. A lot of kids suffer from different things, ADHD. So, you know, all them tedious little beads down there, that wire, putting it through.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even the little, what was it? The tweet?
Yeah. So that's
that used
good
to be
too.
the one.
You know, so we use engagement things to keep them locked in. But there's always a message behind the piece. Like I said before when we started, I'm very untraditional, but we get the job done here at Johnson Family Foundation.
Yes, indeed.
You can find me on Instagram, Mr. Johnson 2022. I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. That ain't my name no more. I changed it.
Look, I'm gonna put the joint at the bottom.
And it ain't Mr. Johnson no more. It's sorry. It's Mr. Johnson JFF, and that acronym is Johnson Family Foundation. The business page is Johnson Family Foundation, both as well too. All the link and the information is in the link in the bio. Kids want to sign up. The ages range from 6 up to 65 because I work with adults as well too. Like I said, everybody needs help. There's no measures of who you help. If you're really here for the community, that's what we're doing.
It's an open door.
Yeah.
Open door. Reach out and find a way to be a part of the work. And yes, so many messages, so many ways to approach these things. But I laugh a lot because oftentimes we're arguing for the same point. Like, it don't matter who bringing it forth. We just got to find a way to do it together.
Yep.
So, you know, as I always say, I am a guy from a place.
Yeah.
Charm City Bipper, Quis The Vndl. Marquis is the name my mama blessed me with. I'm here with
Mr. Johnson, the one and only.
Johnson, the one and the only. And we are going to be out in a little bit. And as I always say, one day made better is many days made greater if I keep it to myself. Oh my goodness. I had a lapse. One day made better is many days made greater. We are uplifting you to be in a world that cares. If I keep it to myself, I think that's unfair. The joy I've been given is best when shared. Visionaries never die, legends survive. Through the seeds we sow daily, we get better with time. I'm wishing you peace, prosperity, and many, many blessings. It ain't got to be perfect. It got to get done. And there's a lot to get done. So let's get busy. Out. Thank you. So we have a future filmmaker, future social media wizard with us right now. But I am a guy from a place, Charm City Bipper, Quis The Vndl, and I'm here with Ms.
India Chester.
Yes, and I'm big on hands-on, and a part of the Johnson Family Foundation is hands-on action. So what we got in front of us?
So we have our cosmetology book here that explains to the students step-by-step the process of cornrows is the module that we're on right now. So we read from the book and they could see pictures. Also, I walked around individually and literally showed them with my own hands how to, maneuver and, finesse the hair so that it does what they want it to do.
So a big part of this guy from a place thing that I'm doing is references and modeling. So you have the physical reference that you learned from when you were getting educated on it, and you are actually modeling it and allowing them to do it. So it's all of these different ways that they're having the opportunity to learn. They don't have this in classrooms, right?
Right.
We'll tell people, you can do anything you want. Well, how? What do it look like? If I told you you could record a video and I let you hold the camera, no, I don't like kids touching my camera. It costs too much, right?
Yeah.
We gotta let y'all get busy and make mistakes.
Yeah. And I'm advocating for that. That's the reason why I collaborated with the Johnson and Family Foundation to move further with like giving them experience that is not always allowed in the classroom.
Yes. Service is a very big thing. We're gonna check it out. But as I always say, one day made better is many days made greater. I'm uplifting you to be in a world that cares. If I keep it to myself, I think that that's unfair. The joy I've been given is best when shared. Visionaries never die, legends survive. Through the seeds we sow daily, we get better with time. Plant a seed. This is a seed. This started with a seed that you nurtured into something, and now you're planting a seed into how many young black girls are in this room? Okay, that's okay. 15.
Okay.
15 youths. Growing community. I love it. Thank you.